Hi, I'm Emmett RAW, and you're here at my house today, and we're going to whip you up an Italian dish that I really think you're really going to enjoy. And it's a little rigatoni and sausage. Now, you can either use mild sausage or you can use hot sausage or sweet sausage. It doesn't make any difference, but it's going to be a great dish. And it's more like a spring dish because we're using zucchini, some grape tomatoes, we got onions over here, we got garlic, we got fresh basil. So we have a lot of great ingredients that I think you're really going to enjoy. And years ago, around 50 years ago, I was a chef down at Agabetti's Family Tree Restaurant right outside of Winter Haven. And I really enjoyed that. But it was a great time there. And I made a few dishes up while I was there as well. And I think you're really going to like them. But anyway, I think you're really, no, forget that. I started out okay, I guess, huh?
Yeah, you started
okay.
out fine. If you want to do another run.
Yeah, let me do another run.
I'll make it,
I like to introduce myself. My name's Emmett RAW, and welcome to Cassiato's Italian Kitchen here in Conisty Falls. Now, what we're going to do today is we're going to whip you up a nice meal today, a little pasta meal, a rigatoni and sausage. And we have some great ingredients in front of us here. We have zucchini, grape tomatoes, onions, garlic, fresh Parmesan, some pepper seeds, salt and pepper, fresh basil, and chicken stock with a little tomato paste and olive oil. So I think we're going to put this all together now, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. Your pasta now, I already pre-cooked my pasta. So I like to make it amends, which means half and half. I like a little hard and not too soft, not too hard, right in the middle. And what I did with it, after I was done cooking it, I put a little olive oil in it to keep it from not sticking together. And every once in a while, I'll stir it up as I'm cooking. But right now, we're going to get started here. We got our pan on the stove right here, and we're ready to go right now.
Okay.
Okay, first of all, you need a pot, something similar to this size, with high sides, because this dish is all made in this one pot. You're going to add the rigatoni, so it's a good thing to have something like this to work with. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of olive oil. 1, 2, 3. There you go. And then I'm going to add the onions. Pot's pretty hot right now, so I'm going to add the onions. You can hear them. You can hear that sizzling right now. So we're going to add that. We're going to give that a little stir. Get that olive oil working. When I was at Agabetti's Family Tree Restaurant, we prepped a lot before we started cooking during the day, but it was a lot of fun. We cooked for a lot of people, and we had some great dishes. And the fellow that I worked with, Agabetti, he was from New Jersey. And he hired me on the spot, and I thought I was really privileged to cook there at his restaurant. Well, right now we're going to add a little heat to our onions, and it says a 1/4 teaspoon, so I'm going to add a little 1/4 teaspoon. But if you want to, bada bing it, you add a little more. Give it a little more heat. Bada bing, bada boom. You know what I mean? Forget about it. There you go. We've got a little heat in there right now. Okay, we're going to stir it up. Get those onions nice. I tell you, it takes probably around 10 minutes or so to get the onions the way you want it.
Okay, can we pause it there and let them cook?
Yes.
All right, let's pause it there and let them cook.
Once your onions are translucent, and you start smelling it, the aroma from it, you're ready to put in your sausage. And when you put your sausage in, you want to use a pound of sausage, and you want to break that up with a wooden spoon, and cook it all down so you see no pink whatsoever in it. And once that is done, and then we'll put the next ingredient in. How's that? Once the Italian sausage is cooked on and you see no pink, now you're ready to add the garlic, and this is what makes it really great. 5 cloves of garlic minced. You want to stir that, get that in there, for about a minute. Oh, mano no me. It's unbelievable. Start smelling that garlic and them onions and the sausage. Oh, does that smell good? Okay, after you get that garlic in there working a little, now you're ready for the tomato paste. You want 3 tablespoons. I don't really measure out I just get a tablespoon and I just go for it. Okay? There's 1, 2, 3. And that's what I do. And that's done. And then you stir that around. Get that working because you want to cook your tomato paste down. You got to cook that. Okay, now you got that working. Get that tomato paste in there. Work that around. Along with the garlic, the onions, and the sausage. So far, this dish is really looking good. It smells delicious. You want to smell this? It is really good. All right, now we got that going. We got that tomato paste in there. Our next ingredient is going to be 2 cups of grape tomatoes, and if you want to put a few more in, you can. No problem with that. You add that. Now here's the trick to this. You add your 1 cup of stock or white wine, whatever you prefer. I've used the stock. Although if you use white wine, you can't cook the alcohol out of it naturally. But anyway, right now I'm using stock. I don't know. I think it gives it a different taste. I really enjoy it. And that goes in. Then you get your salt and pepper. You got a teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of pepper. You want to add that in. And there you have it. And then you give that a stir. And now the tomatoes. Here's the trick with the tomatoes. You want to be able to cook these tomatoes down till they burst. And if they do not burst after around 10 minutes, you get your wooden spoon and press on them to get the juices out of them. So let them cook down a little bit right now, and we'll get started with the next ingredient. That'll be it. Are you showing a little bit?
Yeah, showing it.
Oh yeah, cooking it up. Okay, now you can see how this pot, the pot is very important, so make sure you have high sides and large enough to support all the ingredients in there. If you don't, it might not cook the way it should. That's all I'm saying. So if you have a nice large pan with high sides, I think that's the way to go. Okay, and you could pick up a pot like this in any of your, can I say Walmart?
Yeah, go ahead.
I picked this one up at Walmart, and it serves this purpose. I use it for so many dishes, so it's important to use the right pot, okay? And this is really good for it. What I'm doing now, I'm helping the tomatoes burst. Sometimes they just don't want to burst, so you gotta add a little pressure with your wooden spoon just to get the juices out of them. As you can see what I'm doing, and they're pretty soft right now, but they're just not, sometimes they just don't want to burst the way you want them to, so you sort of force it, that's all. And I think that is, it's fine to do that. You want to get all the tomatoes, you want to make sure they all burn, you get all the juices out of them, because that's a big part of this particular dish. And I just want to give credit where credit is due. My niece and nephew, Nina and Ferdy Tarquinio, gave me this recipe. And since then, I made it a couple times, and I think it's a really great dinner. It's been a hit so far from the people I made it for. So. And I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and a lot of Italians lived close to me, and I got to learn how to cook a little bit from them. But my mother was my big. She was my big. She cooked. I mean, 8 o'clock Sunday morning, she was up making a sauce. She was up there making. My dad had a funny thing about hard-boiled eggs. He loved the hard-boiled egg. My mother used to hard-boiled eggs and put them in the spaghetti sauce. And I thought that would be horrible, but you know what? I really liked it. I grew to like it. So once in a while, my mother would put hard-boiled eggs in the spaghetti sauce. And they came out really good. And my mother cooked a lot of times with spare ribs, meatballs, and the sauce was just, it would permeate through the house. And my brother and I would get in trouble because we'd get the Italian bread and start to didge. Didging means, you dip in the bread and you eat the sauce. Then my mother used to come up with the wooden spoon and chase us away from the pot. But that was a lot of fun. It was worth it, believe me. And being from Pittsburgh, a Steeler fan, my mother had to time that dinner, because we had a big Sunday dinner, right at halftime of the Pittsburgh Steeler game. And that's how we did it. Okay, tomatoes look good. They're all burst and cut away. Now we add the zucchini. You want two small zucchinis diced, okay? Just like that. And we're going to add that now to our dish. It looks like a lot, but it cooks down too. And what I like to do here is to soften this up, soften the zucchini up, is I'm going to put the lid on it a little, just to give it a little more heat inside here to soften this zucchini up. Alrighty? And here we go with the lid. I'm just going to put the lid right on here, give it a couple minutes, then I'm going to take the lid back off, and then we'll go from there. How's that?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, you remember that I told you to add a little, once your pasta is done, you want to add a little olive oil so they don't clump together, and you can see they're not, so that's a good thing. And what we're going to do now is we're going to add it to the pot. All the olive oil in there, we're going to get rid of that. And then we're going to stir it all up. I'm going to mix it all up for you. Look at that. Isn't that looking delicious? Come on, people. You got to understand that. I wish you could smell this. Oh, my goodness. Well, all the viewers out there, just an easy dish. Little time, but it's delicious and it's not that hard. And as you can see, we got it all mixed up. And now we're ready to plate. When you plate, put it right on there just like that, really nice. Okay. Now, you add a little fresh basil on the top and a little fresh Parmesan cheese. Boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Bon appetit. Rigatoni and sausage from Cassiato's Italian Kitchen. Ciao.